Imagine if Pete Rose, that's right, you heard me, Pete Rose, imagine if he had his own beverage. Well, at one point in time, that was a possibility when he contacted Chocola, a little known beverage that probably most people have never heard of. Well, I can tell you, I have heard of it, and I have had it at a place called Chocola Cafe in Indianapolis, Indiana. And for people who may not know, Chocola is kind of like a Yoo Hoo competitor. Not really anymore, because the only place you can really get it is from Chocola Cafe. And well, let's just say with this pandemic, Chocola has had some troubling times. I recently went to the cafe. They have nice food, good food. Yeah, it's a really interesting small little diner. You can see Indianapolis skyline, from the cafe, and it's a small little diner. It doesn't seat many, maybe 20 people at the very most. Has a bunch of old decorations in it. Just well done. And like when you think of like a little cafe or a little like diner from the 70s or 80s or whatever era, 60s, this is the cafe that you think of. And well, they have this drink called Chocola, and it's a milk base, like Yoo Hoo alternative. And when I went there was no way to really have the Chocola. Like because they had been selling it in cases, and you could buy it, I think, by the bottle, but for sure by the can. And they ran into some supplier issues where they were trying to partner with a beveraging company to get the Chocola made. But because of the pandemic, they're actually making the Chocola by hand at Chocola Cafe in Indianapolis. And it's very unusual. Like, a lot of people don't really know what it is. Even when you do a Google search, you type in Chocola, you're going to get like some like Japanese anime character. Unless you do Chocola beverage or Chocola drink or Chocola Indiana. Like it's very niche. And my take from it, like it was really good. I ended up having to buy the milk, buy the jug, just so I could take it home and enjoy the beverage. But I had there, and I think my review of it is, it tastes like just a regular chocolate beverage, or chocolate milk rather, and it didn't seem like there's anything special about it. But I imagine once they are able to bottle the Chocola or can the Chocola, and you can buy cases of it, I imagine it would be way better that way. Because I don't like normally, like with the gallon jug that I had, every time that I used it, I had to shake it up because it would settle so much. And I mean, even Yoo Hoo, you're supposed to shake Yoo Hoo before you drink it. It literally says shake it on the can. So I get it. It's not that big of a deal, but you don't really see it with Yoo Hoo unless you buy the glass bottle of Yoo Hoo, which is honestly probably my favorite way to have a glass bottle. It's a really interesting beverage that you can only get in this one place. And at one point in time, Yoo Hoo actually purchased Chocola in 1985. They sold it to Yoo Hoo, and it looks like they shut it down around the 1980s. And then Mott's, I think Mott's Apple Juice, they acquired it with their Cadbury and Schweppes division. Sounds about right. They didn't. Let's see. The trademark for Chocola expired in June 2009, and Mott's did not renew it. stating in the Indianapolis Star article on 29th November 2011, they had no intention of doing anything else with Chocola, which is sad because I don't know. It's almost like a relic lost in time. Like when you think of chocolate beverages, it's really Yoo Hoo. And I mean, I think the only reason why I was so interested in it was because it's kind of like an Indiana thing. Like Chocola, let's see, it was formulated in the 1940s by Harry Normington Sr. from Pennsylvania. Normington distributed the beverage through Chocola Bottlers Inc., which he founded in 1944 in Indianapolis, Indiana. So, like I said, I'm a big Indiana guy. A lot of people will realize I'm a big Indiana guy. I love anything Indiana, and that's why I had to try me some Chocola at Chocola, which is really interesting. But yeah, if you ever get a chance, go to Indianapolis, stop by Chocola Cafe, tell them Eric sent you, get you a little Chocola, maybe a little sandwich, a little something, and have yourself a good little time. But for now, that was your Full Chat podcast with Eric Roberts. If you haven't heard of the channel before, subscribe, like, share. I mean, we got content coming out every Wednesday. And if you know anyone who would be awesome to have on the channel, comment below if you're watching the YouTube video, or leave a review and a comment on iTunes, like Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, literally wherever you get your podcast. And let me know. For now, thanks for listening. This has been the Full Chat Podcast.